everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez. You are watching the Wise Coffee Chat Show. Super excited to be here this morning with our guest, Marta Razo. Before we go and introduce her, my name is Jennifer Sanchez. I'm the founder of the Wise Coffee Chat. You are listening to WRMN 1410. You can go to WRMN1410.com to watch more episodes and learn more about the station. But super excited to be here with Marta. And if you want to learn more about me, just go to wisealliancenetwork.com and you can learn more about me and everything that I do. So thank you so much for your time, guys. And Marta, who are you? She is an amazing powerhouse speaker, powerhouse entrepreneur, palette girl, all these things that she is. But let her introduce herself to the listeners and the viewers.
I'm one of the most energetic persons you will meet. I like to go into a room and just be myself. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Like she said, one of my favorite businesses is the wood pallet industry. I've been doing that for 12 years now. And thanks to the success that I've had, I decided to want to help other business owners and entrepreneurs by providing a platform for them that they can come together, network, learn, and engage. And that's called the Accelerator Business Summit. I founded this 3 years ago. I'm excited about it. I'm also the founder of two book anthologies. Business Diva, I'm Limitless, I'm an investor. Me and Jennifer have done some projects together, which is exciting. Um, I'm also the mother of a beautiful 8-year-old. He is as I mean he's a character like his mommy, okay? Just know that. We're both together. It's like a firebomb. So and he's an author to a book too.
And you're a doctor.
Oh, yes, I forget that one. I just got my doctorate in industrial engineering on June. That was intense. That was 5 years of hard work. And I think maybe that's what I'm like, I don't want to know about it. It was so much work. And that gives me a lot of pride because I always try to challenge myself. And that's what I try to motivate people to challenge themselves.
I love that, Marta. So thank you for sharing. So for those that are listening, Marta Razo, she has been in, I mean, I've known you for at least, I don't know, maybe what, 5 now, 6 years? I don't even remember how many years. Definitely it's been around COVID time is when we met, and I've seen her evolve, and she does these amazing things for the community and amazing things for the entrepreneurship world. And she has something fun coming up that we're going to talk about shortly. But before we do that, I just want to learn a little bit more about her and have her share a little bit more about what she has done in business, how she fell into entrepreneurship, right? So, Marta, tell us, how did you fall into the start of your entrepreneurship journey?
So I started at a pallet company. This is my parents had this pallet company, and I left the house. I left the house when I was young. I was 18 years old. I was that Latina child that the parents gave her rules, and she's like, "No, I'm tired of them rules." So I left very young. So my father's and my relationship broke up. He was really upset because I left, and I went to college immediately after this happened. And I did work at Chipotle. I work at different jobs and I didn't like them. So I go to my father and I was so scared to go to him because he did not want to talk to me. But I needed a job. So I asked him for a job. And interesting enough, he is telling me, here's a check. He wanted me out of his face because he was so upset. And I'm like, no, papi, I don't want your money. I want a job. So he saw that I was not going to give in. So he allowed me to work inside the warehouse, and it was the most exciting thing to do. I worked inside with the guys cutting wood. Um, I was cleaning sawdust. That was the first role to clean sawdust. And those
Okay.
industrial brooms, I'm a little girl. So that industrial broom is humongous. So I learned to do that. And then I learned to forklift drive. But then fast forward, I'm like, wait a minute. I am studying mathematics at IIT. I need to be more useful for my dad. So he allowed me to work in the office. And that's when I learned simple things like organizing accounts payable, accounts receivable. But then when he gave me access to his account, is when I realized that we were not good. This whole time, I'm like, my dad is fine. He has a business. My siblings are taken care of. But
Yeah.
when I saw that we were negative 3,000, I was like, oh, I was
Yeah.
worried because this is
Wow.
I'm the oldest of five. So this was my sister, my three brothers that will all be affected, and my mother, of course. So I had a choice: either not tell them anything and know that the business is dying, or the second one is tell them and risk getting slapped or getting yelled again and have that break
Oh,
relationship again, because I really didn't want to hinder our relationship. But I told him, and to my surprise, he responded, "Go figure it out." And then from there, he gave me the spark that I needed to take his business to the next level. I looked at YouTube videos. I went to QuickBooks classes in person. I went to Women's Business Development Center. I took their scale program, scale higher, ConGov, like every conference that I can attend to regarding business, I did. And this is why you see these pillars right here. I made sure to be the expert on finance, sales, marketing, operations, and health and wellness. I'm working on health and wellness now, but it was what I learned in my journey that allowed me in 3 years to take the business from negative 3,000
yeah.
to 14.2 million. And look, I didn't start from a business background. I was just a college student studying math. I also don't have it. So I didn't have the experience in business, but I was able to achieve this in such a young age. I was like 26. So I wanted to help business owners so much. And this would take us to our next conversation.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Before we go to the next conversation, so what made it? I'm curious to find out from you. So in 3 years, you took it to a 4 point what?
14.2 million. It was negative 3,000.
From
So our revenue was about 4 to 5 million, but with profit margins of 5%.
okay. So then you took it to 14 million, right? What was it that you had to do? One, right? You're like learning. You said mathematics at IIT.
Yeah, I was studying applied mathematics.
Applied mathematics at IIT. What were the things that you did that you were aggressive to really grow it in 3 years to that magnitude?
So I took a tool. Everybody has this. It's called the profit and loss. So I would take our finances, and every month I generated profit and loss. And then I was starting to look at the expenses, the top three expenses. And then I started working on those and saying, okay, so my trucking is the most expensive. So then I took an alternative route. So for example, our semi trucks, we owned our semis. So we were spending a lot on repairs. And I'm like, wait a minute, what if I go for a lease option and then I create a fixed cost for trucking? So that was, for example, a change that I made. The second thing that I did is look at my top revenue sources and then start targeting clients of that category. So one of them was packaging companies, especially during the October season, holiday season, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I started hitting up more of the packaging that are creating like candies and things like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So then every month I was making decisions based on my profit and loss. And then that triggered decisions on marketing. That triggered my decisions on sales and who to
Yeah.
target. And every month I did that diligently for 3 years. And then out of nowhere, we got to 14 million. It's not out of
No,
nowhere.
I was gonna say
But
there's no way it was out of nowhere. It was
That's the wrong
strategic.
word.
It was
But
strategic.
it was the consistency of making decisions using the data, not using what I think, not basing it on what my competitors are doing. It was data leads me to this on the finances, and then it leads me to this on my marketing. Leads me to this decision on my operations, on how I'm tracking inventory, how I'm hiring.
Yeah.
And now actually I'm working on my health and wellness, and I'm using the same approach.
For your health and wellness,
Yeah.
in your personal life. Okay. So you did all this consistently, the marketing, you focused really hard on, like you said, and from when I met you, I always heard data to dollars. I know you're a data girl. I always heard this, and I was like, okay, and it makes sense because every time that when I talk to you, I would always say, what's the data say, right? When we talk, it's like, well, because you're about looking back at what's happening. So how important is it, like if you were talking to an entrepreneur, right? How important is it for them to keep looking at their data? What would you tell them? Like, because there's a lot of people that are out here doing business and maybe they don't keep track of their stuff. They don't even know what their finances look like. They don't have spreadsheets. Like what would be like a simple thing that they can start doing to start tracking that?
Easiest one is just create your profit and loss. And that one, if you don't have like a system like QuickBooks, just take your bank statement and write down very detailed categories. This is my employee category, and list every employee and what subcategory there is. So, for example, if you're in the restaurant, the cook, the waitress, like write down the specific roles and even the names and how much you're paying them. And another one, for example, your electricity and all of those, itemize it. Just don't put bills. Put, this is my electric. I know that, and
Yeah.
this is so interesting
Get so specific.
because everybody does their profit and loss just to hand it to the accountant at the end of the year.
Yeah, for
So
taxes,
when
yeah.
can you actually make pivots in your business? You can. It was too late when you give it to the accountant. That's why you have to generate a profit and loss, and this is number one, every month, and start actually looking at it. It only takes you 30 minutes to be like, oh my goodness, I spent so much on this marketing and it gave me no results. So why would you keep spending on that marketing tool when it wasn't giving you the results that you wanted?
Wow. Okay. So let's pivot a little bit. Let's talk about your books, right? You've published your two books already in? I don't remember how many. 3?
We got 2 Business Diva series, and now I Am Limitless this year.
You're launching I Am Limitless. Okay. So you're doing the pallet company. You helped your dad increase his business to 14 point whatever million, 14.2 million, right? And then tell us a little bit, where did you go in your life from there? How did you get into the book writing? How did you get into the consulting side of things?
So on the business side, there was a book called Today's Inspired Latina. And I was interested. I'm like, ooh, I can write my story with other women. And I think that's when my whole life pivoted, because believe it or not, even in growing the business, I took no credit for it. I just believe that my dad was super blessed and that God just gave him blessings. So I never put myself in the equation. I always just thought God is helping my dad. I didn't even think I did anything. Okay. So when I wrote my story for the anthology Today's Inspired Latina, is when everything opened up. I'm like, oh my goodness, I actually sat down for once in my life to figure out what in the world have I done, because I was always on the go go go. I never had the time
You're
to.
still on the go go
I'm
go.
still on the go go, so I still have to learn this. But the writing parts, when I'm doing my books, it's a moment to myself where I'm like, where am I now? What did I do, and where do I want to go? So when I wrote my story, I felt so empowered. I'm like, oh my God, it clicked in my head for once. Guetos wouldn't have grown. My father and my mother and my brothers were always going to work very hard. But it's really the fact that there was a strategy. Now the work is headed to the right direction, it's not scattered all over the place. So when you put
Sure.
all of that work and energy in the right, it's just a clear path, you get me? And it accelerated. They were eventually going to get there, but it was going to be so brutal. And maybe they weren't, you get me? But I just know that the data to dollar strategy that I use was really pivotal for our business to grow. So when I realized that, then I wanted to start my own book anthology because I felt so empowered. I also went to your conference. That's when I met you.
Yeah.
It was one of the most powerful conference. It was called the Wise Conference. They were talking about God. I'm like, wait a minute. This is a business conference and we're talking about God. It was just so powerful to see so many women in the same room with the same idea that we are go-getters, we're business divas, we're successful, but we always consider God. So when I went to that, it really changed my mind also about women, because I always think that women don't help each other. Because I was in a male industry. First, I was like the only one woman, at least in my mind, that was in the palette world. And then I was always protecting myself from men who were trying to take advantage from me. Not just because I was a pretty girl, but also because I looked so young. They tried to undermine my intelligence. Even though they didn't know how highly intelligent I was, I knew, but I can see them trying to play with me games. Um, so I thought that women wouldn't get along in things, but then I created my book Business Diva. After having all this self-reflection, I created Business Diva to empower other women to have that point of reflection and write their stories. And it has been transformational. These girls go to the trips that I organize. We write our stories. We go to different different panels. And it's not even about the authors at this point. They already told their story, they already had their self reflection. But when they're sitting down and pouring into other women, you should see when they all come up to all of the authors and they like celebrities. They're like, Martha, Olivia, Mayra, I cannot believe that you, as a single mother, you were 16 or whatever the age was or whatever the circumstance, that did not stop you from determination to have a business and continue your own life. I mean, even breakups are so detrimental to our hearts that they make us quit. And these women have been so resilient. So I love that. And now I Am Limitless is an opportunity to empower the world to realize how limitless they are, and invites men too. Because when I wrote Business Diva, I was such a feminist. My eyes and my perspective was that, oh, men undermine women, but that's not true. Men are amazing. Men are incredible. So I wanted to create a platform for everybody, because it's not about man or woman. It's about humanity to open their eyes to realize how much they have inside. I mean, that's why I love math. It makes you realize that infinity is a thing that lives within us. It's a birthright to be limitless. So I'm going to continue to do these projects. It's so fun.
Oh yeah, no. I know you are. You don't gotta. So I've seen you. I've seen all the things that you've done. I'm very proud of it. Your progress so far. When I met this young lady, however many years ago, you had purple hair at the time.
Red, I think it was red.
Red or purple, I don't remember. But all I remember was like, okay, and then from there you kind of just kept moving. You just kept going for your goals, which is awesome. So now that you have the Limitless, the Business Diva, right? I do want to talk about, like you said something, there's 5 very important components to business, right? Can you repeat them again?
So after building the business, I discovered that when you're building your business plan and as you're thinking about your business and what to do next, you want to lay down on a piece of paper the 5 pillars. You want to think about finances, your sales, your marketing, your operations, and your health and wellness. And your health and wellness should be your first. I'm actually going to call that, I'm going to rephrase that one to the power of yourself.
Okay. So tell us why. So, and this is interesting, right? I know this, but for the listeners and the viewers, why is health and wellness so critical for business?
So, health and wellness brings up the concept of knowing who you are, understanding what's your purpose, understanding what's in alignment with you. Because if you're working in a business, for example, that you're not super excited about, and you go onto the pillar of sales, and if you're not in alignment, let's say that I'm selling, for example, toothpaste. It's so funny. But I'm not interested in toothpaste. So when I sell toothpaste, no one's going to believe it, because the first thing you have to do in business, to be honest, after you actually know your alignment, is believe your product. So I believe in pallets. I believe that they move the world. I've seen how warehouses stop working, and that means that nobody's working. That means that no one's receiving their product because of the pallets. So I am in so belief that we provide the best services in terms of pallets. So when I go talk to somebody about it, I'm not lying to them. I am telling them what I believe. And because my belief is so strong, they buy. So that's what it is. You need to be so passionate that when you talk about that a specific thing that you're selling or giving people information about it, they're like, oh my God, because your belief and passion is so strong. That's why when I talk about the Accelerator Business Summit, they're like, oh my goodness, I want to go to the Accelerator Business. This woman is so excited. She built a magazine for it. She's talking about it for a whole year. Why should I not go to this?
Yeah, she talks about it all year
So the
round.
first one is that knowing your purpose and alignment, and also taking care of this body. Because if you don't take care of your body, how in the world are you going to be able to network? How in the world are you going to be able to track and be energetic to keep? Because to be honest, business is not a 9 to 5. Business is like every day of your life. So
24/7.
24/7. So you
Literally.
better love it. It better not be something like, oh my God, I got to do this meeting. No, I am so excited. But your body has to be able to move with it, because even if you're excited here and if your body can't follow, then you're limited.
Yeah, very true. So health and that's really, I agree 100%, right? If we don't take care of our bodies, how are we going to be able to perform, right? And accelerate, right? So you have operations, marketing, sales, finance. What does each one mean? like for those that maybe there's people listening or watching that are not business people? Well, we have the marketing you said is a very important pillar, which we know what that is, but what is it for the listeners?
So for operations is your systems in the back end, what nobody sees, your customer service, how you're keeping inventory, how you're keeping log of the data of your clients. For example, how you onboarding clients, and also how you are making sure that you follow up with your clients. So all of these systems that nobody sees, the different tools that you're using, even the way you're taking invoices. And for example, you have a purchase order, then you're invoicing, and how you're communicating with people. The thing that people don't see, they just receive it. Do you get me? So that's what you think about operations, the people behind the scenes that no one really interacts, but it's all those people in systems. When we're talking about sales, is not just selling, the act of selling. It's the whole funnel of like when you meet somebody, when you handshake them, what is the next process for that? I, for example, do an opt-in process. And then what's the follow-up conversation? What are you even trying to sell to them? Because in different times and in different seasons, you're selling different things. So for example, I'm selling pallets most of the first 3 months of the year. And then after that, I'm focusing on XPS. So that's sales. And then the last one, you already talked about health and wellness, finances, really having those financial reports on hand and making decisions based on them.
How important is it to have an accountant or a bookkeeper or I know because your biggest thing was the finances. That's how you saw negative 3,000 and grew to whatever, right? How important is it to have like a bookkeeper or an accountant on board, especially if you're an entrepreneur?
Most entrepreneurs hate finances. They hate the numbers, and they hate it so much that first they don't accept it. That's so funny. They're on denial. So what they do every month is that they just forget. They don't even know what profits they're making. They're just hoping at the end of the year they make profits. So they just kind of like put it under the rug. But if you're putting it on the rug, that's the first sign. Just hand it to somebody, because it's better that somebody's doing it and alerting you, hey, you're not making profits. So now it forces you to actually sit down. So this is how important it is. 85% of the failure happens because people don't have positive cash flow. They're not managing their cash flow. So if you're asked why are they not doing good in business, most likely 85% of the time will be because of cash flow issues.
Wow. Okay. So cash flow issues, which is money coming in and staying in the account, right? So for those that are listening, what exactly is cash flow?
So cash flow is the movement of your money in and out. So having a bad cash flow means that you're losing more money than you're actually bringing in. So that means your profits are negative. You are losing money. So that means you are working for nothing.
And you'd be surprised, there's a lot of people that are like that. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that work in the negative, that are not making money, that it's not profitable. I mean, I remember one time in one book that I read, it said first year you're always going to take a loss. Second year you're going to break even. Third year you should see profit. What are your thoughts on that?
I do agree with that. So this is my third year for the Accelerator Business Summit. So I'm excited because it's a make it or break it deal.
You better see profit. You better see some profit, because it takes a lot of money to start a business. It takes money to make money. And I think a lot of times people forget that. So I'm super excited to learn more about, I know we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the Accelerator Business Summit. We're going to be part of this exciting event. So I'm super excited to learn more about it and what's to come. And we'll learn more what to expect if you decide to come to Accelerator Business Summit. So make sure that you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back after this quick break.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Cintas. A car was found submerged in Lake Osborne during a training exercise in Naperville Thursday. As of 1:30 p.m., there was a large police presence in the area. The lake is located near the intersection of Ogden and Aurora Avenues by Fire Station Number 7. City officials said there is not a threat to the public and more information will be shared once available. The U.S. economy grew faster than previously estimated in the second quarter amid strong consumer spending and business investment. The economy notched the fastest growth pace in nearly 2 years during the quarter. According to Reuters, the economy's resilience was underscored by data showing strong demand by business for equipment in August, driven by an AI spending boom and a drop in first-time applications for state unemployment benefits. Starbucks will lay off workers and close stores as part of a $1 billion restructuring plan, according to its CEO. The company will slash 900 employees in non-retail roles across North America. The store closures will amount to a roughly 1% decline in the total number of Starbucks locations in North America in the fiscal year, after accounting for some store openings. Shares of Starbucks ticked slightly higher in pre-market trading after the announcement early Thursday morning. The company expects to end fiscal year 2025 with 18,300 store locations in the U.S. and Canada. Starbucks plans to inform employees this week at stores designated for closure. Elmhurst School District 205 continues to show improvement in its chronic absenteeism rate, but upper grades still lag behind pre-pandemic times. The state tracks chronic absenteeism, the rate of students who are absent 10% or more of the days in a school year, whether excused or not. For a 180-day year, that means a student missed at least 18 days or 3.5 weeks. Since the pandemic, student absenteeism has risen across the country. For the second year, 6% of Elmhurst elementary schools were chronically absent. That's down from 10.4% 3 years ago and 6.1% the year before the pandemic. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can easily find the right home insurance for you, even if it's not with Progressive. But if you don't choose us, then sure, okay, it's not going to work out. We're not going to cry about it or stay awake wondering what our future together would have looked like. We can't get emotionally invested, even if it sounds like we are. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer allows you to easily compare home insurance rates and coverages in one place, even if it's not with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. I love you. I shouldn't have said that.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Today, sunny with a high near 88. This afternoon, temperatures falling to around 84. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 56. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 82, and mostly cloudy tomorrow night with a low around 56. Currently, it is 72 with clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Find what you love what you find. A total wine and more. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Everyone, super excited to be here with Marta Razo. You are watching and listening to WRMN 1410. So make sure you guys go to WRMN1410.com to learn more. But I'm excited because we're going to talk about this Accelerator Business Summit. So I know the story, but the viewers and the listeners don't know the story. How did this Accelerator Business Summit, how did the idea form, right? Because it always has to be a concept before it becomes an actual thing, right? So where did this come from?
So when I was releasing my first book, Business Diva, that was on December 13 of 2022. It was a book launch. It was the first time I ever organized a book launch. And it was the first time that it actually snowed in Chicago in 2022. And it was a big storm. And still, people showed up to the event. We had sitting for like 200 people, and then people kept coming in. So it was like 230 people that showed up to that event.
You're right.
It was a very elegant, very beautiful book launch. And I actually created an agenda on my own, and it was so amazing. Like, people got out of the event, even men were telling me, I want to be a business diva. I'm like, what? Okay. So it is true.
Oh, sorry.
I had like 3 or 4 men tell me like, oh my God, Martha, this inspired me. So I realized that Business Diva
awesome.
wasn't even for women. It was also for men, because men realized that, oh my goodness, this woman has, like, all these women have kids. They have all these things. They're single women, some of them, not all of them. And they can still be able to do this, that, and it was amazing to them. So at this time is when I had the realization that I was one of the biggest components to growing our palette company. So I'm like, okay, I know what I can do. I realized that that's when I wanted to impact business owners, because this is when the pandemic finishes. And in my mind, I had all those stories from the news. I don't watch the news, but I had to watch it because we had to find out if we can even go out of our house. So when I looked at the news, all these restaurants were closing. All these small business owners were closing their doors. I hear the stories of the children, of the employees, being super sad because the businesses are closing. So that's when I have this idea, oh my God, being a business owner is a huge responsibility. Not only is your family impacted, but the employees and the employees' children and your family. So it's a big chain reaction. So when I added those things together and I had that reflection, it was a night. I'm like, oh, I can produce an event where all these business owners come together and they learned everything I learned. I mean, for me, it took me, let's say, 3 years to learn, and I'm still learning. I have 12 years in business, but they can learn it in 2 days. So I went to the Tinley Park Convention Center. It's a huge convention center in the South Side. I go in there, and it's so funny because I look like I'm 18 years old. So these people were like, is she even serious? But as soon as they saw my $3,000 check, they were like, okay, we'll hear this young lady. And they heard me. I told them I've never produced a conference. I've never produced an expo, but I want to change the course of business. I want business owners to grow. And when a pandemic happens, when a recession happens, I don't want them to be volatile and close their doors. So they're like, okay, lady, they got my money. So the rest didn't matter. But I told them I'll have an agenda. And I promised that so many business owners are going to be here. That was my vision. Business owners will come together. They will connect. They will find information to grow their business. And fast forward, the event happened on August 31st to September 1st. And we had 320 people attend. That was so beautiful. And I don't know how that happened. I was like, oh my God, who was I to create that? Because to be honest, the majority of the work was on me, from the vendors to the partners. But people kept telling me, Martha, I met this person and this happened. Like, one of my MC, he stopped smoking. He was like 65 and he finally stopped smoking because he met the correct person. Some people's businesses were like growing 3 times more because they attended my event. So I didn't want to do it again, to be honest. I was like, no, that was so much work. Who dare am I to do all of that work? Like, that was crazy. But because I heard all these testimonials, we did it again last year. And last year we brought 650 people. And again, it was the same situation. It was so much work. But I'm like, no, I'm going to keep doing this. So now moving forward, even though I get that little bug, like I'm not going to do it, I'm going to do it because the magic happens. It's not even my agenda. It's not even what I do. God comes in the middle of all of this, to be honest. When you're surrounded by people with the same mentality, I want to grow my business, I want to build a legacy for my family, I want to do better for my generation, God comes in there and he helps them. He puts the right person with the right person. He sends to your ears the right information, and you have that breakthrough here at the Accelerator Business Summit. And I'm testimony for that myself too, because I created an event where I'm learning things and I make connections that take me to a different level.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think creating an environment for people to thrive and grow is detrimental, and there needs to be more of it, right? There needs to be more of it. So you're going to have the event. It's October 7th and 8th, which is next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, right? And it's going to be at the Matrix Club, where we are here at the beautiful conference banquet space right now, where it's located at 808 Illinois Route 59 in Naperville, Illinois. So what made you choose this venue over all the venues that are in Chicagoland area?
This is one of the most beautiful venues. I mean, anybody that comes here, they're amazed. I think about it like in New York. I don't know if you go to New York and you actually visit all of New York, it looks like you're entering different world spaces. Like there are different spaces. Here, you enter at the entrance and there's water right away. And then you go in the middle, there's a bar. If you go into this restaurant, it's a whole different world. So the architecture is amazing. There is like by the ballroom, there is light that comes all the way in and it beams. It's just so beautiful. It's a humongous space, elegance, and so many dimensions. So I love it because it brings that light that allows for these communications and for business to happen. Usually when I look at conferences for businesses, it's just kind of dark rooms, dull. This is the opposite of dull.
So tell me, okay, and tell me and the viewers and the listeners, like, what are the things to expect? Like, okay, it's a 2-day event. I'm going to be there, which I'm excited about, right? I'm going to be there supporting. We're going to be having a show there and doing stuff there. So what is it to expect for someone to come, and what are they anticipating to receive when they come?
All right, so they'll come right from these doors. I'm looking at the entrance. They'll be greeted by very happy, nice people. You'll receive your magazine right away. You'll get a physical magazine with the agenda on page 16 and 17. And then they're going to go over here and check in, get their badge. And if they haven't gotten their ticket, they can get their ticket right at the, what do you call that? Where you get the tickets?
Ticket booth.
Ticket booth. Oh, that was easy. The ticket booth. And then you go to the third person and they give you goodie bags full of amazing things from our vendors and sponsors. And then you enter the entire expo floor. You're going to be welcomed by 94 different vendors. So this is really the one-stop shop for business owners in terms of resources. And then if you want to do networking, right here, there's a restaurant lounge. From 8 to 9, there's going to be networking. Then right at 9 o'clock, we're all going to go into the main ballroom. And that's where we're going to introduce the event, walk you through the different business workshops and different keynotes that are going to happen. First day, expect the majority information about sales and marketing. Kevin Harrington, the original shark from Shark Tank, is flying from Tampa and delivering a 1-hour keynote. This is amazing because he's built over $6 billion in products and services. This is like amazing to have such a wealth and experienced business person to come here. The second day is all about finances, operations, and your health and wellness.
That's awesome. And I know that it's a big deal, right? If anyone watches Shark Tank, right, to have someone like a speaker of that magnitude here, that's awesome. So super excited to hear that. And we see it here, right? It's in her magazine. The entire agenda is there. So you have networking. How many vendors will you be having about?
This year we have exactly 94 vendors.
So you have 94 vendors coming. How many speakers are you going to have?
Last 2 years, I was super excited and I had so many speakers. But this year, we narrowed it down to 10 speakers, 5 to 6 each day.
Beautiful. And then how many workshops will you be hosting?
You get to choose from 17 different workshops. Usually every session has 3 choices you get to choose from.
That's awesome. So you're providing a 2-day powerhouse event. Now, that's not all, folks, right? Tell them about what's happening in the evening.
Oh my God, this is so exciting. So in the evening, you got to gown up and look the best. This is like Grammy style International Business Awards right at 7:30. You're going to be able to hang out at the bar, and then different business owners are going to be recognized for different categories. So I'm excited for that. Beautiful trophies. And we're going to have a amazing dinner. We actually had food tasting about 2 weeks ago. The food is exquisite, okay? And if you have any complaints, talk to me, and then I'll tell the place. Um, and then Family Bridges, one of my favorite non-for-profits, is going to have a play production here on family and building good family habits and communication. The second night, we're going to release the book, I Am Limitless, with a fashion show.
Yeah.
And dancing both nights.
There you go, right? Like, if you know Marta is just everything. Like, there's just so much about her. So she puts that in her productions of her events. There's just so much to do, and there's enough for everyone to find what makes sense for them. But also there's something else, right, that you are doing. It's not just a business event. There's more philanthropic aspect to this event. So tell them a little bit more about that side.
So we have 10 different non-for-profits that are competing for a $5,000 grant. These non-for-profits were all gifted a booth, so they get more exposure for their business, which is amazing because some non-for-profits can't afford that. And there is a challenge, and if they complete that challenge, each one automatically gets $1,000, and then they compete for $5,000.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, last year we gave $12,000, 422.
Wow. So, I mean, this is absolutely amazing. So I know that you guys, if anyone wants to take advantage of it, definitely come check it out. So where do they go if they want to register?
So you want to go through Jennifer. She has her link. But if you go to our website, xbsinfo.com, you click on Get Tickets, you use the code WISE, WISE. You use this promo code, then you'll be registered at a discount rate because tickets are originally like $286.
So there you go. So there's a discount. So go to the website and learn more. So you're going to have the sharks here. You're going to have vendors here. You're going to have speakers here. You're going to have workshops here. You're going to end up having a fashion show, a book launch. What, am I missing something?
An award ceremony and a play.
And a play. Family Bridges is having a play, which is another organization that I'm familiar with as well, that I care about as well, which is an organization that supports families and keeping families together in a healthy way, right? Supporting families. So with all of that, then what is your hope that people get when they come to, like, what do you want them to leave with? After they come to 2 days, they invest in this event and come for themselves. Obviously, they're investing in themselves, not but what do you hope that they leave with after this 2-day experience?
I get so excited about this because I pray about it every night, like 15 days before the event. Actually, I do that before. But I pray to God that when people come to this event, they identify what's holding them back, because it's one of these pillars that is holding you back. Have them accept that they're weak on this or not expert at it, and either meet a person that they can help them with that pillar, and that, or they have the information to work through that pillar. So that's the first thing. I also want them to get out of here knowing a lot of people that will take their business to the next level. I know that is one connection that can basically skyrocket your business, because that's what happened to me. It's just one connection. And I also want them to have that transformation, that realization of their endless power. Because if you don't realize how powerful and how gifted you are by just being the child of God, of this universe, whoever is your God, you have an exterior power that you just haven't tapped in it. If people can tap into that power, like, the world is yours.
And I love that, because you're definitely someone that believes in no limits. That's why your book is called Limitless, right? Accelerating, right? You're always on the go. You're always go, 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 go. Sometimes I'm like, Marta, slow down. like I tell you, but I get it. This is just your persona. So the Matrix Club, 808 Illinois Route 59, Naperville, Illinois. Make sure you guys go to xbsinfo.com. Use the code WISE to get a discounted rate. And we know that you're going to have all these amazing events. What's in the future, right? Tell us a little bit about what do you foresee for Marta Raso within the next 5 years?
Oh, I'm excited about that question. So Accelerator Business Summit, I already said it like a year ago, is going to go worldwide. So next year, I'm going to have key partnerships where we bring Accelerator Business Summit, a specific pillar, into different states. So for example, I want to do Texas for sure. I want to do Florida. If I can, I'll do California. And then the following year, I already want to start the partnerships to take it to a different part of the world. So I know Canada is in my mind, Mexico, Dubai has asked me to bring Accelerator Business Summit, but we always have the big one in-house here in not the Matrix Club, but just in Chicago. I'm always going to do that one on a yearly basis. So that's on that part of the world, that part of my business. For Guero's Pallets, I already have a specific financial goal that I want to achieve. I used to want to keep it with us. That's what I used to say. I wanted to build a 100-year company, but now I don't. I actually have a point that I want to grow it, sell it. And guess what I want to do? I want to be at the ocean side in my house, nice glass, sitting down by the beach, retired, doing math and doing technology. Like, this is so interesting. I love math. Like, it really brings
She literally does.
It brings me peace, and it just brings me so much joy. I love a good challenge. That's why I do events too. I love challenges. Why would you do a doctorate, raise a kid, and run all these companies? Because I love to tap into my human capacity, and we have so much. Like right now, you think I'm doing so much. I can still do more. But you know why? Because I believe it. And it's a belief in a thought that manifests into the reality. And I'm going to keep doing that. And one day, I think by 5 years, I will own 500 different companies. And my only job will be to look at the financial reports at the end of every month and be like, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to do that for 500 companies. It's going to be so fun.
More power to you. I'm excited for you because right now you are doing a lot. You have the Business Divas, the Limitless, the Accelerator, the Cueros. I don't know, probably another bunch of other things that you're doing right now. So with us, so when someone comes in, they're gonna get to know a lot of vendors. They're gonna get to know a lot of speakers. What are you gonna be doing? What's your role? I'm just curious because
the last years I was a person trying to do everything, but this year, this is what I want to do. I want to go see every vendor. And I want to personally handshake each one and give them a hug because I'm a big hugger. I'm a very loving person, by the way. Some people don't think that because I'm just in the go, go, go. But if you actually stop and look at me, you'll realize like, oh my gosh, she's so full of joy and heart. And I also want to see all my sponsors for sure. And I want to spend more time with my sponsors this year. I want to listen to particular keynotes like Kevin Harrington's. I'm going to be speaking at a few talks. I'm going to give a financial talk on how to analyze your profit and loss. We're going to go in it in detail. I'm going to give an AI talk, and there's something else I'm going to do. Dress like 14 times. Each day,
literally.
I dress like
she
7
does every
times.
time. Every accelerator, you're like in a million outfits.
Yeah, you're going to see like 14 different outfits. And what else? The vendors. I'm going to jump in some of the keynotes, some of the workshops. I think that's it. I basically want to enjoy my event and network this year.
That's good, which is important because you got to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Sometimes when we put on events, we forget that we got to enjoy our own event, but because you are the organizer, sometimes it's a little bit difficult. So I can see that. And I'm excited because Wise Coffee Chat will be there. We'll be having some Illinois Media School students also with us there. So, that's super excited because it's going to be a 2-day event. We're going to be jam-packed. We're going to meet a lot of people. So I'm super excited about your event. Your events are always phenomenal. I mean, I've been there for all of them. So I've watched them grow. I've seen you. I've seen how you've added on and made it even better every single time. So why did you choose, before we wrap up, why did you choose particularly this shark, Kevin Harrington? Why there's other sharks? Like what made you, what appealed to you with him?
So Dr. James who was one of my speakers last year, and he is a phenomenal human being. If you ever meet him, you want to meet him. He recommended me to Kevin Harrington.
Yeah.
I asked him, which shark do you recommend? And when I met Kevin, it clicked. He was a great guy. I mean, when you meet celebrities, I've heard bad stories. I've heard celebrities that want this, and that, and that they're not the friendliest people. But Kevin was super knowledgeable. I've already had 2 Zooms with him, with his team. They're welcoming. They're actually open. They don't think that they know the answers all the time. They're open to dialogue and brainstorming together. So it's been a great experience, just the interactions that I've had with Kevin.
What is great about that is the fact that he's a businessman first and foremost, right? He's not a celebrity. You know, Shark Tank made him into the celebrity, but really they're businessmen. So, I mean, you're a businesswoman, right? And, you know, there was something that you said that I want to kind of tap in before we wrap up, right? You said because you're a woman and because you're young, right? You've always had, and you're in a male dominant industry, you've always had to navigate how to kind of maneuver through those challenges, right? What is your advice for someone watching that might be a woman and is in a male dominant industry? How should she navigate that area?
First, make sure that in your industry, you're very well knowledge, know it very well, where no one can say, for example, no one can tell me you don't know anything about the warehouse because I have the experience. So make sure you know in the ins and outs of that particular industry. Always be yourself and get that mentality out. That was my mistake, that I used to think that men would not take me serious. I used to even dress baggy because I didn't want men to sexualize me. But that's their problem. That's not
true.
your problem. If you're comfortable with the baggy clothes, then do you. But if you're just doing it for that reason, don't do it. I'm very comfortable dressing like this with a dress and my heels, and I feel powerful. Then I'm going to dress like that. Anyone's else opinion, even if they sexualize me, that's their problem. So in your mind, don't think that someone's going to think you're too young or they won't take you serious, because you're already attracting that. So just think, I am knowledgeable. I am wonderful, very, 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 very knowledgeable. So people are going to respect me. I'm a successful businesswoman. So feed yourself with those good thoughts and trust me, business is just going to come to you. Business just comes to me now. I just closed a $5,000 sponsorship 2 days ago.
Congratulations.
And I didn't look for it. It came to me.
Yes. But well, you're everywhere, so they better come, right? This is a big event. How many people are you anticipating to come?
This year, we're anticipating 650 to 700.
So there you go. It's 650 to 700. And people are flying in as well. It's not just...
One of them is coming from Canada, Dubai. Someone's going to come from Peru, I believe.
So there you go. It's a lot of people are coming from all over the world, literally, because if someone's coming from Peru and Canada, this is international, right? So I'm super excited for all the things that are coming for you. So again, for those that are watching, it's xbsinfo.com. Make sure you guys register, use the code WISE, and follow Marta. Marta, what else? If they want to reach out to you, where do they reach out to you at?
So text the word hello to 630-937-9581, 630-937-9581, or find me on Facebook, Marta Razo, or on LinkedIn. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's _Marta Razo.
Well, that is amazing. Thank you so much, Marta, for being on with us. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys tune in next week, same time. God bless you. Have a great day.